Okay, John the Trans Guy here, and we're going to talk about a Toyota Rav that has a harsh engagement in reverse and a harsh 2-3 shift. There's some information available online. I'm going to show you some references, reference some videos we found, and show you how to fix this thing. So we'll get right to that. Okay, the manufacturer has got a campaign or a TSB, if you want to call it, and there's the reference number right there if you can see that. And it's customer support for shift indicator light on and harsh shifting. Now, there's a couple things that cause this. It could be inside the transmission that cause this problem. You may have to replace your transmission. But one of the things that causes it that we found is if you look at A2 right here, that the solder in the electrical circuits of the engine control module, or the ECM, and some people call it an ECU, may peel over time. This is a major contributor for this condition. So we got some soldering breaking loose or peeling inside of the engine's computer. Okay, one of the first things you need to know is where is the computer located in the car? That's always a question, right? I found there's a lot of videos on it. I found this one right here on YouTube that show the computer where it's located behind the glove box. You remove the glove box and it's to the right, closest to the door on the passenger side. And there's a picture of it if you can see it right there. It's kind of, this is it right here. Is it the connectors going to it? Okay, this is a little bit better picture right here showing all the connectors unplugged. I think there's like 5 of them that you unplug, maybe 5 or 6. And then you take the brackets off and get it on out of there, okay? Now what I had to do on mine is a bracket on the top right here. I had to actually unscrew the Phillips head screws that bolt the bracket to the computer to make it come out a little easier. That's what I did for me. There's 2 10mm bolts that actually bolt the bracket to the car, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then when I got those loose, the bracket up here on the top, I took a snubby nose Phillips and unscrewed the bracket on the top and got the ECU out that way. Okay, here's the money in the bank right here. What I did is I went to YouTube and I typed in Toyota Rav4 computer, came across this great video by this gentleman here, and he's got a Toyota Rav4 engine computer repair number 1, and he takes you step by step on what you actually do when you get these things out of the car and get them apart and how you fix them. Alright, I want to show you this before we get into the other one. This is what they look like when they're out of the car. Just pretty much a square box. And you've got these Phillips head screws that go down in those holes there on the outside. You just unscrew the Phillips head screws. There's 7 of them. And you disassemble it. Okay, so when you get the covers off of it, this is what it looks like inside. And basically you're going to solder the power resistors back to the circuit board. Let me show you a close-up shot of a couple of them. Okay, here's a close-up shot of a couple of them that you do. Basically, these are the power resistors, and what I did, or what you do actually, is you resolder the ends of them back to the board. And the way I did it is I took a pencil soldering iron, and I just kind of got it in the sides right here, and I had a little flux on the end of my iron, and I just went over the existing solder, and I just kind of got it creamy looking on each end of it. And I did that on all the resistors that he talks about in the video. And if I had to add some solder, I just kind of put some solder on the end of my pencil and kind of stuck it down in there and got it all real creamy looking, and used a magnifying glass to make sure I was okay in the right areas and so forth. And in the video, if you can see, he talks about soldering there's 2 big resistors that go into the top of the board, and there's 4 of those pins right here where the mouse is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are wide open right here, so you might want to start soldering these first till you kind of get the hang of it. If you don't solder much on computers, which I don't. But do these first because they're wide open, and you got a little bit of room for error there. Because once you get down into these real little ones here he talks about, each one of these circuits here, you know, each in a circuit board, each one of these things is a circuit. And if you get your solder, you got, you know, in these really tight spots, if you cross over these things, get your solder in the wrong spot, you could short out one of these circuits. and some of these resistors are kind of tight, at least I thought they were. So I soldered the big ones first on the top of the board, and then I went and did all the little ones and looked at it with a magnifying glass. Okay, so after I finished soldering all the resistors, I cleaned it up, put it all back together, put it in the car. I had to do a memory reset with our Solus scan tool. If you don't have that, you may be able to just drive it out or disconnect the battery and drain it down. But I relearned it with the Solus scan tool. Then after I did that, I did some stop and go road testing for maybe 5 or 10 miles. And after that was done, the car ran like brand new. Reverse engagement problem was resolved. The 2-3 shift problem was gone. The car ran like a brand new one. So, you know, what would we do without all this information on YouTube and so forth? I mean, I'm making this video the first part of November, and I probably would have been messing with this car until Santa Claus come around. So reference the video I showed you, and good luck. Like and subscribe. Thanks.